Hello, College of the Desert students. Wendy Ansley here, kinesiology professor at College of the Desert. We have a well-rounded and challenging sequence for you today. I would like you to have your blocks nearby, possibly a strap, and a wall space that we will use today, okay? So the best that you can, it's okay to sometimes kind of pause and readjust your setting and just do you. As always, when I develop these sequences, I always have the best intentions for you all. And I wanted to share with you that I participate in mindfulness activities each week. And yesterday, as I was journaling and developing the sequence, I came across these 8 powerful messages that I wanted to share with you to empower you. And that is what health and wellness really does. It empowers me in my outlook in life and how I treat others. The first one I want to share with you is to believe in yourself. Believe you can and you will. And this is so important as a college student, to believe in yourself. Stay strong. Dream, believe, and achieve. And that inner strength is so important. Never give up. And this is also for our yoga practice. A little progress each day adds to big results in some of these courses that are very challenging for you. Never give up. Be grateful. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. There's miracles all around us. Work hard. Good things come to those who hustle. Stay humble, work hard in silence, and you will see success will come. Stay humble. Be kind. Kindness makes you so beautiful, the inside, right? Be kind. And the last one, number 8, keep smiling. When we smile, the world just seems more beautiful, and it is also a beautiful way to encourage others. And sometimes when we smile, when we're talking to others, we build upon that positive energy. So let's get started with a flow that's also powerful and motivating. We're going to come to the edge of our mat here. Pada Bandha in the feet, active legs. Let's do 2 cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Starting off with a well-rounded warm-up here today. Let us get going. Inhale, draw both arms up. Let's clasp around the right hand here, the right wrist, and let's move over to the left here. So we're really opening that right side body, exaggerating to the left, but exaggerating that movement of opening that right side body, and even draw that left hip forward a bit. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Inhale, rise. Clasp around the left wrist now and shift over to that right, but really open that left side of the body, exaggerate that lateral release, and also draw that right hip forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, we're going to swan dive down into a dynamic forward fold, heel and toe, heel and toe. Ardha Uttanasana, hands by the shins, the thighs, or the ground, tailbone out and back, gaze forward and down. Framing the feet, we're going to step back into Falakasana Plank. We always do core stabilization exercises. They're so powerful. Hands under the shoulders, heels over the balls of the feet, belly button to the spine. Let's actively engage our quadriceps and engage our shoulders. Mindfully draw on the exhale the left knee to the right tricep. Inhale, step back. Draw the right knee to the left tricep. Inhale, step back. Left knee to the right tricep. Inhale, step back. Right knee to the left tricep. Inhale, step back into plank. Staying here several breaths. Embracing that core strength. Embracing that power. Embracing that motivation. Lowering to the knees, we're going to come into tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. I like to just tuck my toes and kind of dig into the ground a little bit. We're going to inhale, drop the chest. The tailbone comes out. Look up. We're doing a little spinal mobility. Exhale, push into the ground. Round the back, belly button to the spine. Beautiful. Inhale, drop the chest, tailbone out. Exhale, push into the ground. Inhale, drop the chest. Look up. Exhale, round the back, push away. Inhale, drop the chest. Look up. Exhale, round the back. Beautiful. Come into a neutral tabletop here. Inhale, abduct that right arm to about shoulder height. Exhale, we're going to thread the needle. Thread that right shoulder underneath. Rest the side of the head or the side back of the head here. And then kind of adjust. Draw that right hip center a bit so it's not off kilter. Breathe into that release. Possibly we draw the left hand up here to the center of the mat here, the top center, and just release that right shoulder here. Beautiful. We're going to stay here several breaths. It's okay to close those eyes. Gently release. Draw that left hand back. Come into tabletop. Inhale as we abduct this left arm. Exhale as we thread that left arm underneath, resting the left shoulder to the ground here. Draw the left side of the head, back side of the head to the ground. And now adjust those hips. Try to draw that left hip a little bit more center. We can keep our right hand here, or we can come onto the fingertips to the center of the mat as we continue to breathe into this left shoulder opener. Gently release, draw that right hand back. Come into tabletop, beautiful. Walk those hands forward a few inches. Lead with those hips. Come into down dog, press through those palms. Spread those fingers. Breathe into any stiffness, any pain. Beautiful. Firm those thighs, press those thighs back and up, and yet heels towards the ground here. What a beautiful posture, down dog. What a beautiful gift, our yoga practice. Transition forward. We're going to walk it forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins, thighs, or the ground. Exhale, come into forward fold. This is where we're going to try to get those hips over the ankles and the midfoot. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Open the chest, open the heart. Exhale, heart centered. Beautiful. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Draw those arms up. Clasp around that right wrist again into that lateral flexion as we shift over to the left, but exaggerate that opening of the right side body. Inhale, rise. Clasp around the left wrist and shift now over to that right, opening that left side body. Continue to kind of draw that right hip forward a bit. Breathe into that release. Inhale, rise. Exhale, we're going to swan dive down into a forward fold. If we need to kind of gently bend the knees or widen the feet, that's okay. Inhale, halfway lift, tailbone out and back. Framing the feet, we're gonna step back into Falakasana. As we push into the ground, we lightly dome the upper back. Beautiful core strength. Engage the legs, engage the shoulders, draw the belly button to the spine. Working on a little core agility and core strength. We're going to draw the left knee to the nose, to the chest. Beautiful. Lower now the left shin to the ground. Again, on the exhale, draw the left knee towards the nose. Lower the chest to the ground. It's okay to round that back as we draw the left knee to the chest and the nose. Lower the shin to the ground. One more time. Round that back. Good. Knee towards the nose. Now towards the shin. Now shin towards the ground. Step back into Falakasana. That's not easy, is it? On the exhale, draw the right knee to the chest and the nose. Round that upper back. Lower the shin to the ground. Now draw the knee towards the nose, round the back. Now lower the shin to the ground. Now draw the right knee to the chest and the nose. Now lower the shin to the ground. Now draw the right knee to the chest and the nose. Now lower the shin to the ground. Step back into Falakasana Plank. Come to all fours here. Tuck those toes. Tabletop here. Spinal mobility. Inhale, drop the chest. Exaggerate this movement. So good for the back. Exhale, push into the ground. Inhale, drop the chest. Tailbone out. Exhale, push into the ground. Inhale, drop the chest. Tailbone out. Exhale, push into the ground. Round the back. Inhale, drop the chest, tailbone out. Exhale, tuck that tailbone in, round the back. Come into neutral tabletop. Abduct that right arm underneath. We're going to thread the needle again. Thread that right arm underneath. Come to the side of the head, the right ear, back side of the head to the ground. Adjust those hips. Draw the fingertips if we can to the center of the mat and still draw that right hip square. Possibly we add a twist, so we take the left arm, we place it under the right crevice of the hips, and now we gaze over the left shoulder. This feels incredible. It's an incredible release to the upper and middle back. Use the breath to kind of breathe into that stiffness, especially in the upper and middle back. Gently release. Yoga is such powerful movement, such a beautiful expression of self-care. Draw that left arm up to shoulder height. Thread that left arm underneath the left shoulder to the mat here. Draw the side or the back of the head, kind of square those hips. Draw that left hip center. If we can, draw that the right fingertips kind of to the center of the mat. Still adjust those hips. And then deepening the stretch, if we can, take that right hand, right arm lifted up, and then come into the crevice of that left hip and gaze over that right shoulder. Gently release. Come back into tabletop. Awesome. Walk those hands forward a few inches. Lead with those hips. Come into down dog. Beautiful. Firm those thighs, press them back and up, tailbone back and down, pubis bone back and up. Now walk the feet together in down dog. Stay in down dog, but the feet are together, heels close to the ground as we push into the palms and draw length in the spine. Inhale, we're going to draw that left leg up to about hip level. I want that left leg straight. Connect even to the arch of that left foot. On the transition, we're going to bend the left leg, draw the left knee to the chest and the nose, round that upper back. Place the left foot next to the left hand, lower the right knee to the ground. 1 to 2 dynamics. Beautiful low lunge. I want you to press to the top of the back foot, plantar flexion, root to the 4 corners of the front foot. Draw both arms up. Beautiful Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Left hip back, right hip forward. Incredible preparatory posture, low lunge. Trust the process. We'll stay here several breaths. Gently release. Lower the arms, frame the foot. Back leg is straight. Come onto the ball of that back foot. Beautiful. Press those hands into the ground. Come into down dog. Let's do a cleansing breath in down dog here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Walk the feet together in down dog. Press those heels close to the ground. Inhale, draw that right leg to hip level. Right leg is straight. Exhale, draw the right knee, the chest, and the nose. Place the right foot next to the right hand. Lower the left knee to the ground. 1 to 2 dynamics. As we prepare for beautiful low lunge. Draw both arms up, sink a little bit lower. Firm that right hip, draw that left hip forward, and draw both arms up, yet shoulders away from the ears, but draw length in the spine as we open the hips, open the shoulders, and draw beautiful length in the spine. Way to connect to the breath on the exhale, lower the arms, frame the feet. Come into beautiful runner's pose. Back leg is straight. Firm that right hip. On the exhale, place those hands to the ground. Beautiful. Transition back into Adho Mukha, down dog. This time I want you to widen those heels towards the edge of the mat. I want you to feel those inner thighs spiraling back here. Breathe into any stiffness, any pain. What a beautiful, glorious posture to hold for a while. Connect to the breath. Take care of the body, the mind, and the spirit. Walk the hands and the feet towards one another at the same time. Let's keep the feet about hip width apart. As we come into a forward fold with a twist, some of you guys might want to use a block. So let's bend the right leg and maybe place the right hand to the block if you want, or to the ground as we come into this open arm twist. Inhale, we draw length. Even in this twist, we're kind of opening that upper mid-thoracic, preparing our body for this beautiful movement. Gently release. And this time we're going to bend the left leg and place the left hand onto a block underneath us, if we can, or to the ground, and draw that right arm up into this beautiful open arm twist in a forward fold. Gently release. Come in just to a forward fold. I want those hips over the ankles and midfoot. Draw the sternum and chest if you can a little bit closer to the shins. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Open the chest, open the heart. Exhale, heart centered. What a beautiful warm-up we just had. Our body is so ready for the rest of our practice. But let's just set an intention for our practice. We're really warmed up. We went over those 8 powerful messages and words to inspire us, to motivate and empower us. Let's just fold our hands here, heart-centered, and lower our head to our fingertips. Let's take a moment to reflect on an area of your life that you are grateful for. Honor this gratitude with our breath, our efforts, our postures, our intentions, our thoughts. Gently look up. Remember, a grateful heart is a heart that is a magnet for miracles. Okay, we're going to come into Malasana, prayer squat. If some of you want to use a block to help you, you can place that behind, but the feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart, heels rotated in, okay? Rotated in, toes out. And so some of you might use a block behind to help you sit on it. It's up to you, okay? You choose. Inhale, awaken those arches in the feet. Spread those toes. Draw those arms up. Exhale, we're going to gently lower, and maybe some of us are seated on the block, and that's okay. Elbows on the inside of the knees. Draw length in the spine. This is where we broaden the collarbones here. We don't want to round that upper back. And it's okay to sit on the block and just do you, do the best that you can. It's okay to close those eyes and feel that breath. The inhale, draw from the tailbone out the crown of the head. And the exhale, the breath draws back down the spine, through the feet, into the ground. Beautiful. Let's take those hands, curl them around the toes here. Let's work on breath. Exhale, we're straightening those legs. Inhale, we're looking up, gazing up. Exhale, straightening those legs, chest to the shins. Inhale, look up. It's a dynamic hamstring. Exhale, straighten those legs. Inhale, look up. Exhale, straighten those legs. Inhale, look up. One more time. Exhale, straighten those legs. Inhale, look up. I love it. Come back, elbows on the inside. Draw length in the spine. Awaken even the muscles in the pelvic floor here. Broaden the collarbones, draw length. Adding a little spinal twist here. As I mirror you here, we're doing this together, okay? So you're gonna take that right arm down and the left arm comes up. So now we're growing this Malasana here, growing this pose, but adding yet a little twist. Gently come back center. Taking your left arm down, drawing that right arm up. So proud of you guys. Adding a little spinal twist. Come back into Malasana, elbows on the inside, draw length. Rooting, we're gonna root and rise and come out of this pose, root into the ground and rise. It's not easy, these transitions, right? They're not easy, but they're so good for us. Heel toe it in. Cleansing breath, inhale. Exhale. This is an empowering sequence. And if we have a block, we're going to utilize a block. Now we're going to explore a little transition, another form of Malasana. The feet are together on this. And we're going to build core strength. So I love this little sequence we're doing together today. We're going to take the block and we're going to have it about shoulder height. Our feet are together. We're still awakening those arches in the feet. We're going to lower ankles, knees, and shins together. Once the heels pick up is where we stop. But eventually we lower a little bit lower. So I'm awakening my arches in my feet. I'm awakening the muscles along the front of my shins. I'm awakening even my ankles, my Achilles. Beautiful. Drawing the shoulders kind of away from my ears. And I'm awakening even my pelvic hip floor. Something to kind of work on. It's not easy for some of us. Stay here, 3 more breaths. Now we're going to lower onto our back and prepare for the hollow body hold. The hollow body hold is a major core stabilization exercise. The goal is to glue the lower back onto the ground, use the core to press the lower back into the ground. And it's like a fulcrum to the arms and the legs. So we're going to take those arms up by the ears, palms towards one another. We're going to lift those legs up about 45 degrees, and we're almost drawing the ribs and hips towards each other, but gluing. The lower back is glued onto the ground here. We're going to stay in this core stability exercise for a while. Arms up by the ears, palms towards one another. Glue the lower back into the ground. Gently relax. Draw the knees to the chest. Take a couple breaths. We're really warming up this core, and we're going to challenge our core stability here in a few minutes. This is an incredible exercise. Talk about empowering. Talk about motivation. Talk about strength. Strength within. This is core strength. This is the hollow body hold. This is challenging too, okay? So here we are. Take those arms up over by the heads, legs up 45 degrees. Glue the lower back. Contract the abs to glue the lower back into the ground, making the shape of a little banana. Think of the upper ribs towards the hips here. Glue the lower back. Upper shoulders, upper back off the mat. Gently release. Not easy by any means. Gently set the block down. Let us prepare our wrists now for a little more challenging exercise here. So the hands are going to touch. The fingers are coming towards us. And we're rocking forward and back several times. This is about wrist strength, wrist mobility, okay? If you've ever injured your wrist, it takes a while to get better. But yoga does a good job at strengthening this vulnerable joint. Many of us will simply stay here and just put a little bit of weight into the wrists. And some of us are going to keep our feet together in down dog and really exercise these wrists, strengthen these wrists. Use the breath, inhale, exhale through the nose. Gently release. Lower the knees to the ground and let's circle those hands back and switch directions. Beautiful. Good. Shake it out, shake it out. Yoga is so much about prevention. Now we're going to take the mats and we're going to come up to the wall as we measure our L handstands. We're going to work on our L handstands, talk about core and shoulder stability, and just giving ourselves a new perspective by shifting the world upside down. So we're going to see how long our legs are. So we're pressing our back against the wall. And we're going to see how long our legs are. And we might want to, if you want to practice this a couple times or pause as you adjust your mat, you're okay. So I'm saying my heels now are right here, and I'm placing this block here to mark that. Okay? And now I'm going to take my hands to where it's marked, and I'm going to make my hands are shoulder width apart, so my hands are directly under the shoulders. And I'm going to work, I'm listening to my body, I'm just trusting the process. If I'm afraid, I can take a child's pose. But maybe as just a baby beginner, I might do just even to here. But eventually, you're going to come with me here. And I'm gazing at my hands. My hips are aligned with my feet. And then I'm gazing at the wall, engaging that chest and shoulders, engaging it, and then gazing back at the hands. So let's do that together here. We're going to hold this a while, okay? This is a safe exercise when done correctly. Listen to your body. You can, if you want to come up baby steps or a child's pose, it's okay. A baby step, maybe 1 foot up just a little bit. Maybe 2 feet up. Eventually, feet are in line with those hips. Gaze at those hands. Now gaze at the wall. Engage the chest and the shoulders. And then gaze back at those hands, but keep the chest and shoulder engagement. We're going to stay here. 10 breaths. So proud of you. Gently lower. Oh, I'm so proud of you guys. Let's come into a wide-legged child's toes. Big toes touching. Wide-legged child's pose. Rest that forehead to the ground. Send those hips back. Gently come out of the child's pose, come back into tabletop. Walk those hands forward a few inches, lead with those hips. Come into beautiful down dog here. Firm those thighs, press the tailbone back and down, but yet pubis bone back and up. Breathe into that gratitude, breathe into that intention. Breathe into those 8 messages today: humility, kindness, smiling, never giving up, working hard, believing in yourself. On the transition, walk the hands and the feet towards one another. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Gently bend the knees. Swan dive up. Open the chest. Open the heart. Exhale, heart centered. Beautiful. Some of us might utilize one of our straps here. And of course, we fold our straps in half here. Fold it in half. And on this one, I'll probably fold it again as we explore a forward fold and a bind. So we're going to take the strap and we'll set it maybe on the right side here. And we're going to come, let's keep our feet about hip width apart. This is just a little kind of a torso rotation warm up. Inhale, draw those arms up. Exhale, come into a swan dive down. And we're going to gently bend this left leg here. And we're going to take our right hand, maybe some of us are going to use the strap and allow it to come down. And then the left arm either to the strap or to the right arm, and gaze over as we clasp the strap or the hand, and then gaze over that right shoulder. We'll stay here several breaths. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Gently release. We're going to gently bend that right leg. Okay, and now we're going to work the other side. Maybe we take the strap to the side. Okay, we take the left hand. Either the strap, we'll take the strap to the sacrum. And now take that right arm underneath and either clasp a hold of the strap or the sacrum and gaze over that left shoulder. Gently release. Come into that forward fold. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Open the chest and the heart. Exhale, heart centered. Beautiful. Removing the strap. I love it, guys. Okay. This is a very challenging pose. Parvita Ashta Chandrasana, Revolved Crescent Moon. Okay, and we're just going to do the best that we can. The wall is going to serve as our stability here. So we're going to start with the right heel on the wall, the left foot out in front of us. And we're going to take the block. For beginners, we may go a little bit higher, or, okay, a little bit lower, or maybe a little bit lower, like for me. But you might want to start a little bit higher for this. The reason the wall is good, too, is it gives us a stable back foot and a stable back leg, and that's integral for this posture. We're really warm now. The knee is directly over the ankle, okay? And the leg is about a one leg length, okay? We're gonna start with, Let's do both arms up, Ashta Chandrasana, and sink. Let's sink down a little bit lower. Firm left hip. You kind of release almost the right hip a little bit of the psoas muscle it's called. We're going to take the left hand on the left hip. We're going to draw that right arm up. Press that right heel onto the wall. On the exhale, draw the belly button to the spine. On the exhale, we're going to draw the right elbow outside of the left knee. Beautiful. And leverage that rotation. So here we are in a prayer twist. If you want to lower the knee to the ground to help you, you can. But knee and shoulder outside of the left knee. Eventually, we come onto the block and we externally rotate that top arm and leverage the rotation of the torso. Top ribs back, bottom ribs forward, rotate that pinky in, back leg straight and strong. Stay here several breaths. Left hand on the hip, gaze at a big toe. Inhale and rise. Step forward, Tadasana. Cleansing breath, inhale. Exhale. So beautiful, guys, I love it. Now we're gonna take the block and we're gonna place it outside the right foot. And we're gonna step that left foot back to the wall here, left heel to the wall here, good. Nice, stable back foot, stable hips. This pose is all about revolving that mid-thoracic area. Here we come into a beautiful crescent moon. Both arms up, knee directly over the ankle, firm that right hip. Keep that right hand on the hip. Draw that belly button to the spine. Inhale, create length. Exhale, draw the left elbow outside of the right knee. Till eventually we come into a little prayer twist. Back leg is straight. If some of us need to lower the left knee to the ground, we can. Eventually, we work on lowering the left hand of the block and leveraging that rotation of the torso and externally rotating that top arm. Armpit towards the ear, rotate that pinky in, top ribs back, bottom ribs forward, back leg straight and strong. Leverage the rotation of the torso. Stay here several breaths. Right hand on the hip, gaze at that big toe. Root and rise. Draw that back foot forward. Tadasana. Cleansing breath, inhale. Exhale. I'm so proud of you. Removing that block, we are going to explore the extended lunge. We'll transition to get there. Inhale, draw both arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Stepping back into plank. We'll explore a vinyasa. Beginners can lower the knees to the ground as we explore Chaturanga Dandasana. Bend those elbows, draw the sternum and chest forward, shoulders in line with those elbows. Inhale, press through the tops of the feet, Urdhva Mukha. Draw the pelvis forward, gaze up. Exhale, come over the tops of the feet here into down dog. cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Draw the left knee to the chest and the nose, round that upper back. Now this time we're going to draw that left foot forward about 6 inches farther than our normal low lunge. So it's the heel is about 6 inches farther than the knee. And why are we doing this? We're working on in that extended lunge and lowering the right hip closer to the ground. We're opening, this is a major hip opener, and we're going to do this before we explore our back bends. We're going to stay here several breaths, lowering the right hip to the ground. Beautiful. Now we're going to challenge ourselves a little bit more. If we want to use a block, maybe we can a little bit, but elbow and shoulder inside that knee here. My left fingertips are to the ground. And now I'm going to draw, I'm thinking about clasping this back foot. I clasp that inner arch. We're going to draw the heel closer to the buttocks. I like to sometimes flip the grip, but I've practiced a while. So my fingers are actually over my toes, and I'm drawing the heels. Most of us will just place the hands by the inner arch and draw the heel towards my outer glutes, and I'm really releasing the right quadriceps. Gently release. Hands are going to frame the foot here. And we're going to sink those hips back as we explore R to half splits. Square those hips, left hip back, right hip forward, sternum and chest over the shin here. Left hip back, right hip forward, sternum and chest coming forward. Placing the hands onto the ground, adjusting. Let's mindfully draw that left heel back. Come into down dog here. Mindfully draw the right knee to the chest and the nose. Place that right foot forward about 6 inches more than our regular low lunge. This is the extended lunge. So again, the right heel's about 6 inches in front of this right knee. And now we're lowering that left hip close to the ground. This is a beautiful process to really open that left hip, open that psoas. We'll stay here several breaths. Beautiful. As we explore this a little bit more, if we want to use a block to help us kind of with placing the hand a little bit, we're going to take the elbow, the shoulder kind of inside that right knee here. And now we're going to explore that back foot, bending that back leg till eventually we clasp that inner arch. And then we think about drawing the heel closer to the outer hip, closer to the buttocks. I flip my grip a little bit. It's a major hip flexor release. We'll stay here several breaths. Gently release. framing the foot. We're going to send these hips back here. We're pressing through that right heel. This is really an awakening of those hamstrings and drawing the sternum and chest forward, but drawing that right hip back. It's just an awakening of those hamstrings. It's also about prevention. Mindfully, hands to the ground. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Mindfully draw that right heel back. Come into down dog. So proud of you guys. What a great flow today. Walk the hands and the feet towards one another. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Gently bend the knees. Open the chest. Open the heart. Exhale, heart centered. Beautiful. So here we are, we're coming up to the wall here again. We're so warmed up, and now we're totally warmed up our hips. And we're gonna do a few drop backs, because the drop backs are magical. It's a leverage back bend. We push against the wall, and we open the chest and the heart, and we wanna keep those hips pressing forward. We wanna lead, we've done this I think before in here, but we wanna lead with the upper and the middle back as we push against the wall. I'll demonstrate real quickly. We're a soft arm distance apart. My feet are about hip width apart, possibly a little bit wider. I rotate my big toes in. Let me just demonstrate. Inhale, I draw my arms up. I look forward, but then I look up and I lead with the upper and middle back till I come to that wall. I push on the wall. I leverage the opening of the chest and I push my hips forward. And then eventually I come back up with the head last. Okay, so we're gonna do 3 of these. And it's okay to walk down a little bit farther if you can. It's okay to even releve up on the balls of the feet if you want and take a little less pressure on the back. Arms up. Gaze forward, but now gaze up. Lead with the upper and the middle back. Come onto the wall, push onto the wall. Come forward, walk those hands back. Find the breath. Walk those arms back up. Head last. Amazing. This is so good for the spine to move your back in this direction. It is energizing. Inhale, draw those arms up, gaze up, look up, lead with the upper and the middle. Walk those hands back, press those hips forward, open the chest, open the heart. Come up. One more. Arms up, gaze forward, gaze up, and lead. Walk those hands back. Push those hips forward. Open the chest, open the heart. And come up. Beautiful. As we come maybe towards the edge of the mat here. Way to strengthen your back, way to face your fears. Incredible job. Let's neutralize the spine just a bit. Almost tuck that pelvis in, belly button to the spine. Inhale, draw both arms up. Energy out those fingertips here. Urdhva Hastasana. Shoulders away from the ears. Simply draw length in the spine, belly button to the spine. Exhale, we're going to swan dive down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands, shins, thighs are the ground. Framing the feet, step back into Falakasana Plank. This is another way to neutralize the spine, is to come into another plank here. Gently lower to the knees here. Some experts, after doing those drop backs, love to explore puppy dog. So we're going to keep the hips over the knees. We're going to tuck those toes. And now, instead of contracting the back, we're going to kind of allow the muscles to relax. We're going to open the shoulders. We're going to rest the forehead onto the ground, and we're kind of lengthening this mid-thoracic area, kind of nourishing the spine here. If we can, some of you may lower your chest and chin to the ground. I'm going to stay here a little bit longer. And some of you intermediate and advanced students might try extended puppy dog here. So we lift up the knees and we're continuing to draw the chest and chin are on the ground. We lift those knees and we nourish that mid-thoracic. So most of us can't get into this pose. We just keep the knees down. But we never give up. We embrace this beautiful posture. Coming out of this pose, we're going to transition back to that wide-legged child's pose, big toes touching, wide in the knees, resting the forehead to the ground. Continue to draw, lengthen the spine, send those hips back. Stay here several more breaths. It's all just kind of about regeneration and recovery here at the end. We're going to explore Shavasana, probably on our stomachs right now. I like to, or however you want to get comfortable, but I want you to spend a few minutes regenerating yourself. I like to interlace my fingers and kind of rest my forehead onto my fingers. And again, our message is today about believing in yourself, staying strong, never giving up, being grateful, working hard, staying humble, be kind, and keep smiling. Is all about finding our inner light. When we find our inner light, we can find the light in others. We can give more of ourselves and we can become more unselfish when we follow some of those principles in life. And each day I like to nourish, I try my best, right? And there's days I don't do so well and I get back on my mat and I continue to try to work on being a better person. That's what Namaste is, finding the light in ourselves and others. I'd like you just to relax, stay here as long as you can, regenerate your body, your mind, and your spirit.